Alright, so welcome back. What we're gonna do is we're gonna start to do whatever we did on the left hand to the right hand. Now ideally what we want is to, same thing like how we do for the foot, is to exactly copy the numbers that we have over here and paste it on the other side. But instead what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna make it a bit more random. Alright, so that means I will create new sets for this guy. Alright, so I'll go ahead and rotate this to about 63, right? And because his left hand is at the back, his right hand should be a bit more forward, so I'll probably go it about there. Again, the reason I'm not copying like for like is because I want to make it more natural, and usually we don't swing our right hand exactly to be like our left hand. So that's the main reason why. So I just want to have something a bit more natural, so that's why I will change this to 31. Alright, we're still at the left shoulder over here. Alright, and change this to slightly forward over here, probably about 28.5, and then I'll keep this guy high up in the sky to about 31. Right, let me keyframe this and keyframe this as well. Now let's go to frame 25. It has to be the same here, and let's bring this guy in and press S again. Alright, so as you can see, all of these have the same values for frame 1 and frame 25. Alright, now let's go to frame 13 where they start to swap places. So this guy will now go to the back over here, and then let's make this a bit more here, and this one will go all the way up. Right, so let's make this a bit more natural. Let me just move this a bit more. It's a bit weird. Let's try moving it here and pushing it up a bit more. Right, so let's make this more of a whole number. Let's change this to minus 16.5. 45.1 is good, and let's just change this to 80. What about this guy? Let's change this to 6, minus 22, and minus 17.6, and this guy will be about 43.1. Now let's go and keyframe all of these three controllers here. Right, I forgot to copy this guy from the front, so let's just copy this, whatever I have here, copy this and bring him to here. I did not put a keyframe at frame 1 earlier on. Let's just double check for everything. So this guy's a keyframe here and keyframe here. Alright, so now we can start to play this and you can start to see some results. Right, so this alien character is finally walking now. Alright, just want to make a few changes over here, especially at the part where it swings its hands. Right, over here. So here's at frame 1. So what I might want to do is have a bit more of a delayed reaction. Alright, so first of all, let's just push this a bit more higher. Maybe I'll just use this guy. And let's just change some of these numbers here. Minus 4.3, 41.6, and minus 7.3 is okay. Press S for this and go to frame 25 and press S as well. They have to be the same. So what I'm going to happen is that I want it to be delayed a bit as it goes down. So in between frame 1 and 13, you can see it's about a frame. Let's go to frame 6, and I just want him to maintain his hand to go slightly higher, just a bit more. So let's just make this a bit more of a whole number. 1 and minus 10.1, and keyframe that. Right, so as you can see, there will be a delayed reaction, and same goes for this guy over here. As it's about to, let's say in between 13 and 25, that's about either 17 or 18. So let's go to about 17 and make him have a delayed reaction over here to about minus 53. Right, and keyframe that. Now if I just focus on this end over here and play it back, So you can see that it was take some time. There will be a bit of a delay as it swings over there. Perhaps it's better for me to see this without the curves, right? So as you can see, there's a bit of a delayed reaction. Maybe that's a bit too much, but it's okay. We can go ahead and adjust that slightly later on. Now let's do the same for the other side as well. Right, so let me just recall, this was at frame 6 where I did this. So here is where it's starting to move to the other side. Right, so it's from here. Just make this a bit more extreme. 65, and let's keyframe this and this to make sure it's the same. And about frame 6, you will have a bit of a delayed reaction. So just change this a bit more. This can be about 16, 46.5, and 9.3. Right, we'll keyframe that. And about frame 17, again delayed reaction, push it up a bit higher to 15.9, 39.5, and 15.3 a bit. Okay. Alright, so I'll keyframe that as well. Now they both have a bit of a delayed reaction for the wrist as it moves forward. So that looks a bit more clumsier. I guess this is a bit more of a clumsy character. So again, I think it's a bit too much, but it's okay. I kind of like how it looks like, how the effect looks like over here. Alright, so it's a bit more convincing, the animation. So one last thing is to go and try to do some adjustments to the head next. Alright, so next thing is I'm just going to do a bit of animation to the head. I just want to make it like wobble a bit, you know, and maybe we'll animate the mouth a bit as he walks. Alright, so here we are at frame 1. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to make his neck, let's go a bit forward a bit here, press S here, and go to frame 25, press S again. They have to be the same. Alright, and as he goes to frame 13, perhaps I want it to go like a bit towards the back. Press S again. So let's see how that looks like. Right, so we have a bit of animation happening at the head. So again, I will do that delayed reaction thing for this guy as well. So let's change this to a more consistent number. So maybe I'll just change this to about 15. Press S for this. Press S for this as well. So after we change it to 15. Alright. And I just want it to be delayed a bit. So here we are at 6. So let's change this to about maybe an 11. Right. Press S for that. And then let's go to frame maybe 18. And let's see. So let's go to change this to -2 first. Right, so that's a bit more consistent. Then over here at frame 17, I'll just change this to 0. Right, so let's see how that looks like. Alright, it looks slightly okay. So next thing is perhaps I want to animate the mouth a bit. So perhaps it's like talking a bit when he's walking. Alright, it's probably talking to himself or something like that. So let's go here. Frame 1, maybe frame 1 and frame 25 he closes his mouth. Alright, and about frame 13 I can have him like open his mouth up a bit more, up to here, maybe -42. Okay, so let's play this back again. Right, and then over here let's do the same. S for frame 1 and S for frame 25, and at 13 he kind of opens his mouth just a bit to about 26. Press S for that as well. Right, let's see how that looks like. Okay, so we have something a bit more interesting going on. Alright, so next thing is we're going to play around with the curves to make it look a bit better. Right, but for the most part, we got a basic walk cycle done already. Alright, so before we actually go on to our hypergraph, I just want to continue making some adjustment with the legs over here. Just want to make sure that that we don't have this kind of situation where the foot kind of like plant itself against the ground. So let's try to fix that next. Alright, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna look for when this happens. Alright, imagine that we have ground plane over here. So when this happens over here at frame 7, as you can see, it's still not that quite right yet. So the leg has to be above the ground about there. Right now, if I look to the perspective mode, you can see that my knees and stuff like that, it starts to wobble and starts to be out of place. So let's just rotate this quite a bit over here, and then after that, what I can do is I can kind of like move my knee back into place over here. Push it down a bit, just a bit more. I just want to make sure that it doesn't go all the way. Like if we need to, we can kind of like rotate this a bit more up to there, right? So the idea is I don't want it to be like that. I just want it to be just slightly over here. Alright, so I'm gonna press S for this. Right, maybe I should go ahead and zero out these numbers first. Change this to something that's a bit more of a whole number. So maybe I'll change this to 5, and then I'll click S for this. Alright, so that works for frame 7. Now let's go to frame 19, and before that, let me just, you know, let me make sure I press S for that, and let me just print screen this and paste this on here. Alright, so I have my numbers over here. So I want to do the same for frame 19 for this leg. So let's go to frame 19, and again we want to make sure that as he transits, right, so it's basically the same thing, it's just a different leg, that we don't have anything that goes and penetrates through the ground. So let's go and fix that next. So we have our numbers here, so it's 0, 0.155, right, minus 0.32 here, and this is 63.4, right, and minus 9 and minus 10, minus 9, and this is, let's just double confirm, minus 10.05. Alright, right, and click S on that to keyframe that one so it matches up with the other side. So let's play this again. So perhaps I'll just crop through. Just want to make sure that we don't have anywhere where it kind of like penetrates through. So I think that's kind of good for now. And perhaps I can bring back my ground plane to go a bit higher. Right, just to show where the contact is. Let's play again. Alright, so we got for the most part that one done. We still need to do some adjustment over here later on, especially with the knee controls over here. Alright, and we can actually kind of like rotate these guys a bit here and there. Some of these, let me just go here. Some of these guys can be rotated a bit more, alright, as he plants his foot and stuff like that. But for now, quite happy that it's not really hitting the ground. It's hitting a bit, so it's okay, but it's not going too much into the ground.